Hello everyone and welcome to Gameweek One of the 25-26 Slater Gordon Premiership, where you join myself, Ryan Sipple, alongside George Barnard for this fixture between Villa Rockets and Greenbank. Let's go through the squads really quickly before we get proceedings underway. Villa Rockets, Nicky Baker, new signing. Dave Lewis, Hamza Madir, Kieran Burns, new to the outfit, as is Rosie Hodgson. We've also got Amir Ali, and not on there, Bobby Allen. And for Greenbank, many of the dark horses for this Premiership division. They have Cody Taylor, Ellie Curran, Luke Kelly, Liam Fitzpatrick, Torbjorn Klaup, Marcus Harrison, and Jacob Book-Platt. How are you, George?
I'm good, thank you. Ryan, how are you?
Very well indeed. Already had a fantastic couple of games in the Premiership. Watching Aspire Muscle Warriors, what was your assessments of that and Henry's performances?
Well, yeah, it was, of course, a Nationals debut with him in a Muscle Warriors t-shirt. They fought well, the first half didn't really go to plan as they conceded 3 goals, but then second half looked much stronger with only conceding 1, and it looked brighter. Yeah,
I completely agree. Pete Westmoreland blows the whistle to kick proceedings off here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. This should be a fantastic game. For many, there's distinctive packs within the Premiership division. There's title contenders, the likes of Teesside, Aspire and Leeds, and then there's this bracket below them, the likes of Newcastle, Greenbank, Villa, potentially West Brom, where any could take points of anyone else. There's no telling which way this could go as Torbjorn Klaup forces an effort towards the Villa goal. Recently lined up with Denmark at the EPFA Nations Cup, was absolutely central to their World Cup qualification. Will be looking to impart that same influence and a shift from last season. Something I'm really excited about is the lineup, the tactics that they're adopting. Jacob Book-Platt adorning the goalkeeper jersey. Already such a fluid system. I can't quite work out who's operating in the centre. I suspect it will be Torbjorn Klaup, with wingers of Marcus Harrison and Liam Fitzpatrick. Villa Rockets, very familiar duo in the centre of Baba Amir Ali and Hamza Madir. Wingers on this occasion, Rosie Hodgson and Dave Lewis. Give me your thoughts on this one, George.
Well, yeah, these teams are both in the kind of same level. I mean, the game could go either way. There could be a win, there could be draws, it could be anything, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Rosie Hodgson. Great to see Ruben Walls tuning in from Northern Ireland. He'll be very familiar with Torbjorn Klaup, having faced them in the 5th place playoff match. That 5th and final World Cup ticket, which went Denmark's way. But the developments of Northern Ireland, the exciting nature of their squad, it's so encouraging for the future. Marcus Harrison down to Jacob Book-Platt, trying to get those passing lanes opened, but Villa, typically a very stubborn defensive outfit, Marcus Harrison forces an effort, goal bound. They found the gap eventually. Good work, Jacob Bookplatt into Marcus Harrison's path. Villa 0, Greenbank 1.
That's a great start for Greenbank there. They've been on the attack pretty much the whole time, and Villa just haven't been able to get out.
No, I completely agree. It's just how Villa react now. Obviously, their new players is Marcus Harrison reverses into Dave Lewis. Marcus Harrison knew what he was doing there. As Pete Westmoreland just comes over to communicate. Just put his chair in a position to draw the foul in. So Torbjorn Kraup to take. Liam Fitzpatrick rooted in this bottom left-hand corner. Rosie Hodgson desperately trying to break this persistent press. Hamza Madir. Cleared by Marcus Harrison. Didn't quite have the angle to favour Liam Fitzpatrick. Who's your prediction for Premiership champions, George?
Well, I mean, there have been a number of transfers and stuff like that, but I think Leeds are looking very strong this season. Of course, they've got people like Ethan Fisher and it's just
Dylan Kelso
Dylan Kelso as well. And they've got such a strong lineup. It just seems like I can't see them not winning.
Yeah, it's a conversation that I've had with several people, and the talent, the technical ability is there without question. And when you think of it on a player-by-player basis, there's probably no teams that are better than them in the division. The question is how quickly they can gel as a collective. And I've said this season they'll take 2 or 3 weekends to hit the heights that we expect, and then from next season onwards they could be the real powerhouse. So whilst I don't disagree that Leeds will be right in that title race, I struggle to look beyond Teesside. Be intriguing to see how they open the 25-26 season. Aspire already off the mark with a comprehensive 4-0 victory over Muscle Warriors. And then when you're referencing Muscle Warriors and Henry, as Liam Fitzpatrick's going to be set away, doesn't have any real power to trouble Amir Ali, so he reads that, goes over to Marcus Harrison, who has the easy job of just pushing it home with his front bumper. It didn't work on the first occasion, but the clean connection on the assist from Liam Fitzpatrick allows Marcus Harrison to just guide it past Amir Ali. Villa 0, Greenbank 2.
This is a really strong start from Greenbank now. 2 up with 11 minutes to play, so looking really solid. They've pretty much been on attack the whole time.
Yeah, completely agree. It's a tough opening weekend for Greenbank. They follow this one against Sevenoaks tomorrow, however. West Bromwich Albion and Leeds PFC. If they come out of those with favourable results, there is really no telling what they could go on to achieve this season. I said they were dark horses. Could they go a step further and become potential title contenders? They've certainly got the players to mount that charge. Free kick for Greenbank. Hamza Madir deemed a little bit too aggressive. Jacob Buckplatt looking to take it quickly, but waits for the referee whistle. Into Marcus Harrison. It's Rosie Hodgson adjusting to life with a new team. Spent a good part of 10 years with Aspire, so a huge change for her and her family. Having sat down with her to discuss the championship season, she just spoke about the need for a change and a new challenge, which is very understandable for some players. They need that new environment to ensure that they maintain levels or increase levels. Hasn't had the flurry of service she's maybe used to. As Villa have just struggled to break out of their own half. What they do on that occasion. Dave Lewis slightly unaware as the ball's placement, but does well to just push it into the Greenbank box. Live on Court A, Ben Rogers and Nick Woodward are bringing you the action live of Newcastle United Foundation in GBG night. Nothing to separate them 11 minutes in. Here on Court B, Greenbank in the ascendancy with a 2-0 lead, a comfortable 2-0 lead at that. Good work from Marcus Harrison. Just trying to weave his way around that defensive duo. Strong trapping of the ball. Neither wants to give up. Good strong play from Amir Ali once again, just to force his way up the line, wins his side the kick in. To Dave Lewis. Just not getting that connection in the Greenbank half. Slightly forced. But I think we do owe credit to Marcus Harrison, who's so good at breaking up those passing lanes. A substitute signalled. Bobby Allen comes on for the first time. Rosie Hodgson, the player, leaving. Into Torbjorn Kraup. Kraup to take. Marcus Harrison's clear at that back post. Jacob Buckplatt, the closest option, all the way through to Marcus Harrison. was trying to find that gap, that space, which is why he hesitated in engaging. On that occasion, it was good defensive work. It's Dave Lewis. He's done that on a few occasions. He's kind of used the momentum of his chair and the ball to try and force it into the Greenbank half. But those attackers just seem to be so isolated. There's strong play from Klaup. This is a physical game. There's no real direction on that. Bobby Allen completely unaware that the ball was going to come through to him. Had he stayed in reverse and just made his way up that wing, he could have potentially received, but you can understand why. That wasn't his intended move. It's a good performance from Greenbank, isn't it, George?
Yeah, like I said, it's really solid at the moment. Villa have been troubled by them. It's been, well, Villa have defended well at times, but I mean, you can't stop Marcus Harrison getting those goals, can you?
No, he's so proficient in attacking play that he's so hard to keep quiet. This has been such a physical, fiery encounter, which is probably to be expected. Wouldn't surprise me if Pete Westmoreland looks to his book at any point. Bits of contact, bits of communication on and off the ball. Look at that. Torbjorn Kraut, for some reason, engaging the same ball as Marcus Harrison. As we tick over into 15.5 minutes. Villa 0, Greenbank 2. Great to see David D watching on. Huge thank you to everyone tuning in to the YouTube stream. Get your predictions, thoughts and comments in the chat. Game week 1 of the 25-26 Slater Gordon Championship was absolutely incredible. And this division has started with that same quality, that same unpredictability. Marcus Harrison takes possession, just forces his way past Dave Lewis, former teammate with club and country. Both were part of the 2023 England World Cup squad that travelled to Sydney, Australia. Both won National League Premiership with West Bromwich Albion, since have looked to play their football elsewhere. If you look at the West Brom team from 3 years ago to the one that lined up this morning, it's night and day as to the changes. Villa just struggling, aren't they, to get anything going in the attacking half. Marcus Harrison.
It seems as if Marcus Harrison is just snatching away all of Villa's chances at the moment. Like, he's just got the ball from one side of the pitch to another, and now Greenbank are on the attack.
Yeah, there's comments discussing the lack of chances for Villa, and it's not through the want of trying. It's Marcus Harrison with a big smile on his face is deemed the aggressor. Yeah, it's not for the want of trying for Villa. They're trying to get the ball up the court, but when you've got a player such as Marcus Harrison negating the quality, put in his chair in those passing lanes, it's almost impossible to get any real rhythm. If Villa do score, I don't suspect it'll be a really nice, clean, smooth goal. It will more be just kind of forcing it up the court and committing players forward, which is something they're reluctant to do, or certainly have appeared reluctant to do in the 18.5 minutes we've played. I think they have to throw caution to the wind at some point as Liam Fitzpatrick fires it off the right-hand post. Looked almost a certain third as Marcus Harrison looks to have a follow-up effort. Can't quite get control of the ball. But as I was saying, if Villa want anything from this game, they're going to have to commit players forward. Comes Madeir. Of course, committing players forward will leave them vulnerabilities in behind. It's been good officiating from Pete Westmoreland. That's half-time on court A. Newcastle 1-0 up against GBG Knights. Here, the final 30 seconds or so. A late chance for Villa. Too much pace for Bobby Allen to receive in reverse. Torbjorn Kraut. And bang on the 20-minute mark. The whistle is blown for half-time. A brilliant opening 20 for Greenbank, who lead Villa Rockets by 2-0. Join myself and George Barnard for the second half shortly. Hello everyone and welcome back. Second half of Villa Rockets versus Greenbank. Currently in the favour of the Liverpool-based side as the second half gets underway. Now, already a big shift for Villa and one that I'm excited to see. Dave Lewis now adorning the goalkeeper jersey but playing in that central position. Complement of Rosie Hodgson and Bobby Allen, a really exciting pairing, but straight away they've been almost split open. I said in the first 20 that they need to commit players forward, they need to throw caution to the wind if they're going to want to get anything from this game, and that appears to be exactly what they're doing. But in doing so they will leave vulnerabilities in their defence. What was your assessments on that first half, George?
Yeah, it was tough for Villa. Like, they were defending the whole time. It's impossible to keep a clean sheet when you're under that much pressure. But I mean, Greenbank, they should look at that as a massive positive. And they're doing the exact same now.
Beautiful reverse pass there from Torbjorn Kraut, shaped to pass to Marcus Harrison, feinted out to Liam Fitzpatrick, and that is a necessary clearance from Rosie Hodgson. Just forces it, trying to get the ball off Bookplat, but he's so strong. Big season for him as he looks to establish himself as one of the top young players in the country. Absorbing some pressure.
Marcus Harrison just pressing on the goal kick. We've seen a lot of that this game.
Just appears to be such a horrible player to play against.
Yeah.
Jacob Bookplat advancing up the court. Whilst he adorns that goalkeeper jersey, they've obviously got a very fluid system and he's going to have a chance at goal here. Cleared by Dave Lewis. Rosie Hodgson can't get the contact to relieve pressure on her defence. But Greenbank starting the second as they finish the first. Fairly dominant, attacking pressure. Options on the bench for Greenbank as well. The quality of Luke Kelly will no doubt be called upon at some point in this fixture. Kieran Burns and Nicky Baker on the bench for Villa as Torbjorn Kraut dead central. Substitute signalled, so as I suspected, Luke Kelly comes on in place of Liam Fitzpatrick, who had some bright contributions. But I have to say, this four for Greenbank has the quality, the experience to challenge anyone. See Luke Kelly and Marcus Harrison, both Premiership champions with West Bromwich Albion. Torbjørn Kraup, for many, not only Denmark's best player, but arguably their best ever player, and that is a fantastic finish.
That is the definition of a set piece for you. A set piece at its finest. I mean, Marcus Harrison's ball just went through the Villa Rockets box, and Butch Platt did the end product.
I said it would be a big season for Jacob Buch-Platt, and he's buried that without a moment's hesitation. Good to see Mr. Baxter tuning in from his cruise abroad. But you're absolutely right, they are playing some good stuff, and the question is, can they sustain it? Can they play this quality of football, this brave attacking form of football, when they play the likes of Leeds or Spire? As Rosie Hodgson attempts an effort at goal, they finally got some combinations going, Villa. The only real opportunity they've had in the 26 minutes we've played, but positive nonetheless. And I suspect it will take a few games or game weeks for Villa to find that collective chemistry, that shared understanding of tactics, of setups, because it's without question that they've got the players there to trouble most teams. But it's all about how that comes together as one. I think we saw that a little bit in Muscle Warriors' performance against Aspire. When you've got 3 or 4 new signings coming into a squad, it can take an adjustment period to get things and players singing off the same song sheet. Greenbank, however, I think this is the exact team that ended the 24-25 campaign. They've re-signed Torbjørn Kraup. You have to talk about the commitment that he puts into playing his National League football in England, travelling over from Denmark, wanting to give himself the best possible preparation in the lead up to Buenos Aires, where Denmark will be competing in the 2026 Fit for Powerchair Football World Cup. And deservedly so. They were one of my teams of the tournament at the Euros, losing that opener against Italy, but following that they were compact, they were stubborn, and they took their chances with quality. I actually had Torbjørn Kraup as a very honourable mention as my standout player, my MVP of the entire competition. I thought he was that good. Strong trapping of the ball between Harrison and Dave Lewis. Once again, we saw it several times in the first 20. But once again, been brilliantly officiated, this one. Not quite sure the contact and the ricochets translates across stream, but we can hear it courtside. Villa 0, Greenbank 3. Torbjørn Kraup switches to Marcus Harrison. He's on for his hat-trick. Bobby Allen going to desperately try and bypass Torbjørn Kraup. Potential opportunity to just force it up. He's looking round, trying to seek those options, but Dave Lewis in amongst a sea of green. And that's something that Greenbank have done so well this game. They've closed off every passing lane, every channel that could yield some sort of success for Villa. I think our expectations of Greenbank were skewed last season. Signing Marcus Harrison, many considered them to be potential title contenders, but competing in their first ever Premiership season. We have to give them credit for doing what any promoted side needs to do, and that's maintain Premiership status. They did that comfortably. Now it's about using that as a foundation to challenge even higher up the standings, and if they produce this level of performance across their 22 league games, there's no telling where they could finish. Of course, we'll be running the WFA Cup this season as well, where teams such as Greenbank, Villa and others will be seeing that as a really credible opportunity to lift silverware if the draw is favourable to them. And new for this season, we've introduced the WFA Cup Vase, which sees any teams that exit in the preliminary round 1 and round 2 stages be put into a standalone competition. So championship sides have an opportunity to lift silverware as Cody Taylor comes on in place of Torbjörn Kraup. Marcus Harrison doesn't need to force it. Would have liked to have kept it in, but time's on their side. The scoreline is most definitely on their side, and they look to be cruising their way to an opening win. As mentioned, their next game against Sevenoaks later today at 3:20. Villa Rockets play Newcastle United Foundation. So when we're talking about that bracket in the middle of the division, it's been a tough start for Villa. Tomorrow they play GBG Knights and Teesside, so those two games wedged between their opener and their final game against Teesside, they're going to desperately want to try and accumulate some points, because Teesside will be incredibly tough. They haven't done much wrong, Greenbank, have they?
Well, no, they haven't really been at fault at all. This, yeah, like 30 minutes.
Thing is, if you're Villa, I don't quite know how you break it down. They've trialled, they've tested, they've switched things up, but all have more or less led to the same conclusion. They've had opportunities like that, not necessarily goal-scoring opportunities, but chances to break the attacking press and take some territory in the Greenbank half. The 2-on-1 awarded before Rosie Hodgson was able to strike it. But Marcus Harrison is kind of in a bracket of his own in terms of he's so difficult to read. He can play any form of football possible. He can lock it up in the dribble. He can play that expansive, exciting form. Harrison into Luke Kelly, strikes it goal bound. Nice positioning of Jacob Book-Platt, but Luke Kelly just drawn into it, not allowing the 3 metres needed. Luke Kelly not observing 5 metres there. 34 minutes played. We look to the scoreline on Court A. Newcastle United Foundation 2, GBG Knights 0. GBG Knights looking to just accumulate enough points to maintain Premiership status for 26-27. They're fairly familiar with the demands of this top flight. They used to be known as Nomad Knights, who won the championship and then were relegated the following season Many of them players are used to the quality, the consistency. Rosie Hodgson trying to swipe that ball out. It's kind of been her role within this fixture, just to try, if and where possible, to relieve pressure. Just a little bit too aggressive on that occasion. Buckplatt into Luke Kelly, pushes it forward with his front bumper, just controlled gently by Dave Lewis. Dave Lewis into Rosie Hodgson. And that is what I talk about singing off the same song sheet. The angle never really favoured Rosie Hodgson to angle it up the court, but also Dave Lewis wasn't necessarily set and ready to receive it as a return pass. And that hesitation, that lack of clarity has put them under pressure. Now Marcus Harrison.
Yeah.
Squeezes it over the line, just trying to understand the referee's decision, whether it's going to be registered as a goal. And
yeah,
that
there it is.
Absolutely is. Marcus Harrison has his hat-trick, and it all stemmed from that mistake in the middle. But full credit to Greenbank. They have been so efficient this game. And they now have a commanding 4-0 lead. A few better ways to start a season, is there, George?
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably when Villa need to be their bravest. Condense this goal kick. Adopt a high press. It would leave huge gaps in behind. But they just want to try and find a little bit of success from this fixture, whether it's a goal, whether it's a real good opportunity, a goal-scoring one. They'll take a positive, but because 37 minutes played, there is very little that they've done that their coaches will be pleased with. But I think it's probably more about what Greenbank are doing right than what Villa are doing wrong. Does Greenbank get a free kick? Full time on court A. Newcastle have their first win of the season. Potential boom here.
It's going to be interesting.
Into Torbjörn Kraut, just didn't have the angle. Incredibly wide. A big smile on the face of Jacob Buckplatt as we approach the final minute. Who would you say is your player of the match, George?
Is it a question?
Very good point.
Yeah, I've got to give it to Marcus Harrison. I mean, he's got a hat-trick. He's stopped Villa from playing what we would call football. He's just been the highlight for me.
I can't disagree at all. The goal scorer of 3, the provider of the other, as he looks to park the disappointment of Italy and focus now on his club football with Greenbank. That's a really nice combination. Torbjörn Kraut and Luke Kelly probably too close to one another, so fortunately escaped with a set ball as opposed to a 2-on-1. But it was really nice nonetheless. But yeah, Marcus Harrison the clear standout. I think Jacob Buckplatt has been really positive. Yeah. Torbjörn Kraut just getting up to the pace of things again. and positive contributions from the likes of Liam Fitzpatrick and Luke Kelly. A lot of question marks for Villa, but any and every team in this division should be allowed a grace period, an opportunity to just get the rust of the off-season out of their system. And that is full time. Fantastic win for Greenbank, who secured their first 3 points of the season with a 4-0 win. Thank you to all that have tuned in, to myself and George Barnard.